Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 47 of the Geek Press. I'm Noah, and today co host Lewis and I are going to be talking about the penultimate episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian. We're so excited. We're going to give you our thoughts, our theories, our reactions. And then after that, we're going to delve our little toesies deep into not only the Marvel's trailer, but what we think of the current MCU state as a whole. If you like listening to what we're talking about, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and rate us across all listening platforms. And don't forget to follow us across all of our social media so you can keep up to date with us. You never know when I'm going to say something crazy that'll get me canceled. See you in a bit. Yeah, take your turn.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, days and M's. My name is Luis Gutierrez, and welcome to episode 47 of the Geek Press Podcast. As always, I'm joined by my rotating guest of co-host, and today, I'm actually joined by the one, the only. You guys know him. You guys love him, Mr. Jonah Hill. What's up, Hill?
Hey, how's it going, Lewis? Oh my god. Hey, what's going on? I was in 21 Jump Street
How,
and now Kanye likes Jewish people.
yeah, I was gonna ask, how does it feel knowing that you cured Kanye of his Semitism?
Oh, he texts me Jewish memes and I don't know. I keep asking him how he got my number, but he won't tell me. I don't know. Hello, everyone. I'm Noah Garcia. Each week, for some godforsaken reason, I'm subjected to do a celebrity impression. And like usual, I don't know how these celebrities sound when put on the spot. So that was my Jonah Hill impression.
So, Noah, let's start with you this time.
Oh
How's
my
your
god.
week been?
Oh my gosh. Me? My week has been good. Just settling into projects at school since I'm a simple plebe at university. Nothing too much. I'm applying for this nonprofit secretary job, so fingers crossed on that.
Really?
Uh, yeah, it
Want to
came
talk
in
a little bit
through.
more about it?
It's from, it's from a school program. I don't want to talk about it in case it flops, but
You're one of those
it's
guys.
through a school program because earlier in the year when we were doing internships, we did this thing where we sent in our resumes and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and they put it in like a data bank. So I got an email the other day from that data bank that's like, "Oh, you're eligible to apply for this position." So I was like, "Okay, I'll apply to that."
Okay. Have you this probably won't be too entertaining for the listeners, but have you made your LinkedIn account?
Yeah, I have a LinkedIn.
Okay. Have you brushed up your portfolio?
I have not. That's something I need to do this weekend.
Yeah, I need to brush up my portfolio. I haven't done that shit in a
Mhm,
while. The things I need to do, I need to brush up my portfolio and I need to
mhm.
fix my resume because my resume looks like shit. But
I'm sure it looks okay. It's probably just a little messy.
oh, it's very messy. But
And I remember in school when I had my internship class that we had to go to like mandatory resume meetings where they had like these quote unquote professionals look at our resume and be like, "Oh, this is good, this is bad, this is horrible." Da, 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 da. So I
I
had my resume looked at by a student who thinks he knows what he's doing.
I saw on TikTok that like Harvard Business and stuff, they have their resume app
Mhm.
templates up. So I'm probably just gonna copy that if I'm being honest.
Honestly, all those white people seem to do well, so you probably should.
Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah, fingers crossed you get that job. That'll be a nice little gig, especially right out of college as you're trying to find like a full-time like journalism
Plus, I'm
job.
already my internship was with a nonprofit, so I'm like, okay, so
That's right. I forgot about that, huh?
maybe I can be one of those college graduates whose job has nothing to do with their degree.
I mean, hey, that's what a lot of people do. What is it? It's like what, like less than like 10% of graduates do what they graduated for or something.
What?
I'm
No, really?
spitballing a number.
Okay.
I'm blowing a
You
number out
know,
of my ass.
honestly, if you could have made something up, and I would have believed you. You could have been like, 75% of college graduates don't do the job they're graduated from, and I would have been like, "Oh my god, Lewis.
It's some
Lewis with the
it's
stats."
it's a significant number for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it. Okay, but enough about that. What else have you been doing? So you applied for a nonprofit, you got your projects, you're getting them in order. What else?
Mhm. Well, I recently ordered this old, Marvel used to do this old thing called legacy things where they reprinted old issues. So I bought like Legacy Uncanny X-Men #1, which is like the giant sized, which is where like Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Banshee, all them get introduced. Uh
Is this in the
and then
Ultimate?
no, this is the regular universe. So it's
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
old comics back in the 70s. So it's
Oh,
the
okay, okay,
giant
okay,
sized
okay.
issue, and then it's the 5 issues that preceded after.
Have you wait, is that the one where it's like those books are like the size of like encyclopedias and like
It's kind of, but it's like if you cut that up into fourth.
okay, because
It's like a trade.
I've seen fuck,
Mhm.
I forget what they're called.
Omnibus?
I think so. It's like, oh, if you want to know Spider-Man, here's the best Spider. Like it gives you
Mhm.
his first appearance, the best Spider-Man run, some BTS on Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. And it's like $100 or some shit. It's like it's kind of pricey.
Yeah, but, the one I bought was a used copy, and it was a Barnes& and Noble's exclusive $12 paperback,
Ooh, nice.
and I bought it kinda fucked up, so I got an even more.
Hmm.
Let me tell you guys, if you're interested in comics and you don't have a comic book store near you at all, because I know that's an issue for some people, if you go on Amazon, and if you don't mind waiting a few weeks, you can find trade paperbacks for, like, $1 to $4.
What? This is the first I'm
Yeah,
hearing of this.
I have a bunch of trades that I bought because it's usually like $3 and then it's maybe 4 more dollars for shipping, and it's a lot of stuff like old libraries, used bookstores, like a lot of old other sellers, and
Okay.
it'll be coming from like I got a book from and it's from, like, Minnesota. It's from a Minnesota library, and it was like
Shout out my
$4.
former editor Kyle. He lives
Shout
in
out your
Minnesota.
shout out former editor Kyle. Um, so it's just interesting reading these old comics because here I have a panel. That's just so funny because the way the dialogue is, like, here's a dialogue of Storm. She says, "You attacked us without warning, without provocation. You sought our deaths without thought for the innocents who might have endangered, even slain by your attack. You dare call this a game?" And she's it's so dramatic, and I love it. It's just like the dialogue of older comics is just so like fun in that way. Like it's so dramatic. Like if I don't do this, this person's going to die. It's just so I love it so much. So I was just reading it, and yes, that is my Storm voice. Yeah, so I'm excited. I've been reading that old comic.
Guys, Noah actually has a really good Wakandan accent. You should hear him.
Uh, okay, you ready? Oh gosh, hey there, hi there, ho there. I'm from Wakanda.
You know,
I'm doing real good, huh?
I'm happy you owned it because I saw that on TikTok where it was like Mike and there were like two white guys. And it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, bro, my girlfriend loves to do this thing where we go to parties and she'll be like, my boyfriend here has the best Wakandan accent. You should hear it. And like, okay, go on, no. So,
And you mentioned that because you wanted to rub it in my face that I'm single. So thanks for
oh yeah,
that.
that was. I'm glad you understood the layers of this
Yeah, I
joke.
understood. I understood the joke. Honestly, we should be nicer to each other because us being mean jokingly is going to affect our friends. But I feel like because they're like, are they friends or do they just hate each other?
I mean, it could be both, you
Yeah,
know.
honestly, it's enemies to lovers,
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess. Fuck it, anything
But
possible.
what's up, my enemy Lewis? What have you been listening to? What you been up to? How's the week been for you?
So I've had kind of like a busy
Mhm,
work week. So I've been like a fat piece of shit as of late, where I haven't really been working
mhm,
out, and I decided I was like I need to start changing that. I need to I need to get more just more active again, because if you guys listen to like the older episodes of the podcast, I said I was gonna go to the gym, but I stopped going. I'm still learning Spanish though, but I stopped going to the gym. And a large reason was because I would set my alarm to go to the gym like around
mhm,
6 o'clock, 6 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. And by that time, people are getting out of work, people getting out of school, the gym's a little bit busy. A lot of the machines are taken up.
mhm,
And I was like, fucking Christ. So a lot of the times I would go there, I couldn't do the workouts I wanted to do. So I didn't. I've had this phone for a little bit already, but I got a Google Pixel 7, and I didn't have all of my alarms on there. I didn't program it on my phone. So my schedule for like a good like 2-3 weeks was kind of loosey goosey because I didn't have like my alarms telling me, all right, do this, do that, do this. So late last week, like on a Sunday or Monday, no, Sunday or Saturday,
Hmm.
I started setting alarms. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like because I work from home. I'm like, all right, every other hour I need to just get up and stretch really quick, then get back to work, blah blah blah. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, what if I start going to the gym again? Like, but I go super early in the morning. So I go roughly like a not super early, but like early enough for like I can get back to work and shit. Um I set an alarm from Monday through Wednesday, but I'm probably gonna do it Monday through Thursday now because
Hmm.
I felt like a little weird taking Thursday off. At 7 o'clock I wake up and by like 7:30 I have to be at the gym.
Hmm.
And the machines are just like, hard. There's a good little chunk of people there, but like not enough to where you're gonna be waiting on a machine or anything like that. And
Yeah.
I'm only there for about an hour, maybe a little bit less. It's just enough to wake me up, get a little sweat going, and just get my blood pumping. So
Yeah.
I did that all of this week. Well, not all of this week, Monday through Wednesday this week. Um, as a recording because today is the 15th. So the week of April 15th, I did that. So I've been doing that, and like Monday I was a little tired, so like during like my break I took like a little 15-minute nap. I did good. Tuesday, Wednesday I was like bouncing back better. And this whole week I've been waking up early, like before we recorded, just a peek behind the window. Noah and I usually record this around like 9 in the morning, give or take. And I woke up like around the time my alarm sets off. Like, I've been getting kind of used to it again now. So I've been doing that, and it feels good too, just to like wake up, work out, take a shower, and there you go. Like I started my day. I
Hmm.
don't feel like groggy or anything. So it's a really good feeling. I've been doing that, and now I can talk about the game I've been working on because the embargo's been
Oh my gosh, what is the game you've been working
yeah,
on?
the embargo has been lifted, so I can talk about it.
Can I guess what it is?
Go for it, go for it.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure 3.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Hell yeah! Is Kuropi in this one? If my
Now
man Kuropi's not in this one, then I fucking riot.
it's a bold choice because
Mhm.
about like about 40 minutes into the game, the people that Hello Kitty killed in the second one, they come back and just like bash her head in with the sledgehammer. And
Oh my god.
and you just play as a completely different person after that. Like they just
You mean wait,
introduce
she killed Kuromi and Peckle in the first game and they come back?
well, no, it was like their friends and family come back. So they've
Oh,
been
Landry and Pochaco, gotcha.
yeah, and so they explain like where they've been at. And at first I was like, where the fuck were these guys at the last like in the second game? But it explains it pretty well in my opinion.
You know what? Honestly, Peckle deserves everything that's coming for him. Let me tell you, while you were talking, I googled Hello Kitty
I
characters and
thought
just
you were
started.
just fucking making up names. So.
No, these are names of characters.
Okay, yeah, but I've been working on Minecraft Legends, and
Mhm.
I'm a big Minecraft fan. Like Minecraft's one of my favorite games. So I've liked the spin-off games they've done, like Minecraft Dungeons. I like it a lot because usually I'm not a fan of dungeon crawlers, but it's a good like dungeon crawlers light version, and I liked it a lot. So for Minecraft Legends, the way I describe it to people, it's like Clash
Mhm.
of Clans meets like Command and Conquer. And it's a super fun game. It does have some faults, but I haven't had this much fun working on a guide in a very long time. And it got to a point too where my editors were like, "Hey, Luis, when's your work gonna get done?" I'm like, "Just shut up. Let me beat the game first." Like I was so compelled to like finish this game before I even started fucking working on anything. So that was really cool. But I'm working on that, and I had to cancel D&D, as you know, Noah, but the listeners do not know. And I need
They always know. I let them know.
I had to cancel D&D because I needed to like catch up on some work that I needed to do. And I'm gonna work a little bit through this weekend, but I think probably by the time we do like D&D again on like Wednesday, I should be more or less caught up to where I need to be.
That's good.
But
You've been working hard for that paper.
yeah, and so that's been my week. I also do feel a little bit bad just because you know how I told you I had like a big panic attack?
Mhm.
So I got over that now. The linger is still just a smidge there, but like 90-95%, I'm over it, you know?
That's anxiety, my friend.
Yeah, it just never really
But
goes away.
uh,
But what had happened was I want to start writing news stories again, but the thing is, I feel like my editor is the ones who, like, I don't wanna say grilled me because they didn't grill me, but the ones who, like, talked to me, uh,
mhm.
they haven't really hit me up since that day, and I feel like it's a bit of, like, an awkward situation. It's like, when you get in an argument with your friend, you're like, "Oh, shit, when do I start talking to him?" kinda thing. At least that's the vibes I'm kinda getting, and I'm like, "Oh, man," I'm like, "Hey, I'd love to work with you guys right now, but I'm just busy with this guide." Like,
You know what? We literally talked that you were worried that once you did that, they're gonna stop hitting you up.
that's exactly what fucking happened.
You know what? And I'll tell you what I said then. Just pop up and be like, "Hey, so, I have a bit more free time. Do you have any stories for me?" Because they don't know when you have free time or not.
That is true, and
They're
the
probably just assuming like, "Oh, Lewis has shit going on, we won't hit him up." And then you gotta be like, "Hey, I got some free time. Got any news stories for me?"
yeah, that's and honestly, that's the plan because the only thing that's, like, kind of, like, handicapping me at the moment is that I have to work on the multiplayer aspect of this game, and even though
Mhm.
the servers are up, only, like, the journalists and influencers have this game, so, like, good luck finding a multiplayer lobby because everyone's
Now
playing.
now's the time to find Mr. Beast. Become his bestie. You can become his diversity friend.
Jimmy, does he have any, like, colored
I actually know
friends?
I know noth First of all, I don't like that you use the word colored. I feel very weird about that.
Alright,
Second of all, I have no idea.
okay, let me rephrase that, right? People of color?
I guess that's better. Yeah.
Does he have any POC friends? There you go, okay.
You'll see.
Okay, I phrased it a
Know
little
noth
awkward.
I know nothing about Mr. Beast at all, actually.
Funny
I was just pulling a name out of my butt.
funny you mentioned Mr. Beast. This has nothing to do with the podcast.
Mm.
Nah, it's not kinda funny, but it's just a little it's
I better laugh.
pretty no, you're not gonna laugh actually.
Better laugh, you son of a bitch.
So what had happened was, his friend came out as transgender, I believe,
Oh, good
and
for them.
yeah, and he is transitioning into a woman. So,
Mhm.
like, she's taking, the medication, everything you need to do to make a transition. And
Oh, no. She's in a gaming space, though, so I don't
oh, yeah, this is where it gets a little murky right here.
Mhm.
So, what had happened was there was this, like, random ass YouTuber who made, like, a fucking, like, 8-minute video or something. I never watched it, I just saw it, like, we'll talk about it. That, like
Mhm.
and the thumbnail had, like, cartoon drawings. It wasn't insulting drawings, it was just, like, cartoonified versions of her and Mr. Beast. And then the caption said something along the lines of, like, "This is why I'll let's just call her Jane just for the sake of conversation." He was like, "This is why Jane transitioning into a woman is gonna be a nightmare for Mr. Beast." And then, like, now on Twitter, like, people are just, like, kind of, like, being all, like, transphobic and all kinds of phobics to Mr. Beast on
Yeesh.
Twitter, and he had to, like, come out and say something along the lines of, like, "Alright, guys, I'm getting fucking sick of this, stop."
You know what? Shout out to him for saying something, though,
Yeah.
because, it's times like these where you can really see what someone's character is, and I'm glad that Mr. Beast stuck up for his friend.
Mhm.
'Cause you never know with these YouTubers, they're always like, "Oh, I'm going to this person's party, I'm doing this, I'm saying that." So good for him.
Yeah, you got the David Dobrik's of the world.
Oh my gosh, that's I what's funny is that I feel like I know all the drama, yet none of the specifics. Like, I always see thumbnails and hear TikToks, I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy," but I never, like, investigate further what's going on.
I the only reason why I know so much was, because before all of this had happened, my
You love David
girlf
Dobrik.
no, my girlfriend was a huge Dobrik fan, like, she used to watch all of his vlogs, and, like, prior to that, I thought more or less he was a pretty entertaining guy, and so when
Mhm.
she told me that, she was like, "Reese, you'll never guess what happened. David Dobrik's a piece of shit," and I'm like this is something I tell my girlfriend all the time. I'm like, "God," "You follow, like, all, like, the stereotypical tropes of, like, a woman sometimes." She was like, "Why?" And then I tell her, I'm like, "'Cause you're all up in gossip." Like, no matter like, I was like, "You know the YouTube gossip, you know the TikTok gossip, you know the celebrity gossip," and she was like she'll get quiet, she'll be like, "Fuck you," and she was like so whenever
That's how
there's
my
a
friends just love.
yeah, whenever there's any kind of controversy, she's right there watching, like, 30 different videos, and I'm like, "Alright, babe. Give me the homework. What's give me the report. What happened? She's like, okay, this happened and this, and I'm like, fucking Christ, like I can't even follow all that.
It's like giving you those Warcraft level lore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this person was friends, but then they hung out with this person. Now they hate each other,
Oh God.
which is just so funny. It's such like it's interesting. It's one of those. It's like celebrity culture
Uh huh.
where you feel like you know someone, but at the same time, that person is very much putting on an act because you never really know them.
And
This is the whole thing.
speaking of never really knowing people, um,
Yes.
I don't feel like I really know and trust the armor from the Mandalorian. I feel like
Oh
she's an op.
my
You
gosh.
know,
Oh
spoiler
gosh. We're gonna talk
warnings.
about Mandalorian.
Yeah, spoiler warnings for those who haven't seen the episode. Noah, if you can do something in post, but like if we jump to another
Okay.
subject, like
Yeah,
this
did
is
you listen to our last episode where I
yeah,
did?
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I liked it too.
Yeah, so future Noah, this is you know what to do. So yeah, I think we should just kind of like jump into
Mhm.
it. So for starters, this is what I was telling Noah. I originally thought the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo was the season finale.
No, why'd you
Ye-
think that?
I was mad as shit for like a week. Just because I legitimate I don't know why I thought that was the finale. I was like, this is a weak ass finale. Like, what the hell? Like, okay, yeah, they got in some like A-list celebrities. That's it. It's Bo-Katan gets the dark saber.
Mhm,
And so that I was on TikTok Wednesday fucking night, like as I was going to bed,
mhm,
and I saw a few TikToks of like um they were playing the Barnyard song. You know, it's like,
mhm.
and I won't back
There
down.
you
And it was
go.
playing that, and it was like, oh, R.I.P. our boy. And I'm like, wait, when the fuck did this happen? And I'm seeing like these clone
Mhm.
trooper-esque people like fight the Mandalorian and like all these other people, and I'm like, oh shit, it didn't end. I'm a fucking idiot. And then I scroll to another TikTok, and I don't did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No, I did not, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, there's a character in Breaking Bad. It's one of Jesse's friends. He's like one of the meth heads. Like he's a cool guy in the show. You'll like him a lot if you watch it. His name's Skinny Pete. And Skinny Pete makes a appearance in The Mandalorian as one of the Mandalorians that was that didn't leave Mandalore.
Mhm.
And he even has a few lines it talks. And so I was like, wait, I was like, when the fuck did he pop up in this season? And I kept seeing like spoilers, like literally less than 24 hours later. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so yeah, and then I saw another one saying like, I don't trust the armorer. And I was like, oh god damn it. I just like I was like, if I stay on this app any fucking longer, they're gonna they're gonna spoil everything, you know?
I get exactly what you mean. I like to look up articles and stuff before the podcast just so I have something to reference to.
Uh-huh.
And one of the first articles that popped up when I was searching Mandalorian latest episode was this theory about the armor will change everything. So I don't understand. I feel like people have had some theories that she's like a character we've seen in Clone Wars. I have no idea what that could be, even as someone who watched Clone Wars.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't get during the episode. I didn't get any, I didn't feel she was being sneaky or anything.
Yeah, no.
But what was the TikTok you were watching about? What was that about?
So I stopped watching it because I was like, I want to form
Gotcha,
my own
gotcha.
opinion. But let's kind of like let's take it
Mhm,
from the beginning, and we'll kind of work our way through the episode. I
mhm,
did like seeing how that one girl who fuck I don't even know her name. The scientist? The scientist girl that's
mhm.
living on that planet. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you mean like the spy girl in the New
Yeah,
Republic? Oh, okay,
her. Yeah. So I
gotcha.
it was cool seeing her again. Also, I really like how the Star Wars is leaning more into like the cyberpunk Blade Runner
Mm,
aesthetic, you know? I feel like they need to do a little bit more of that, give it that noir feeling, like that neo
mhm.
noir. I'm like, ooh, I love give me those colors, baby. Give me those purple and blues. That's all I need.
Alright, I have a pitch. I have a pitch for
All
Lucasfilms and
right.
Disney. Okay, we all even though we're trying to get out of this timeline, let's do let's do a noir detective show set on Coruscant during the New Republic, and you show how the New Republic is slowly falling apart.
All right, yeah, I'm in it. If it's all like
There
that,
you
then yeah, just give me
go. There
that.
you go. And there's lots of gay people, so we get the clickbait. So all the fans can get mad, and they're like, "This person's a gay," and then we can get all the clicks, all the attention. And then all the liberals will be like, "Well, we love gay people, so we're gonna support it." That's how we do it, baby.
So yeah, I thought that was cool seeing her again, but also too, I thought it was just a smidge bit annoying how they were like, "Where's Thrawn? We gotta where is he at? He's supposed to be here." I'm like, "Fucking Christ! Are you trying to set up Ahsoka any harder now?" You know,
Mhm,
that was something I kind of feel a little bit annoyed about, that they have to just consist how they're connecting everything so intertwinedly now, and I'm like,
mhm.
"That's cool, but like just kind of let it be its own thing," you know?
You know what? You shouldn't watch this show then, because that's been The Mandalorian in season 2.
I know that, but it's just like that part was a little like just a smidge bit
Mhm,
annoying, where because I'm like, all right, I know why you're bringing that up, because Thrawn is whatever the fuck his name is gonna be obviously the big baddie in Ahsoka.
mhm.
So yeah, that was the only part I thought was a little bit annoying. But what did you think of that part though, where it's seeing the
I
spies
thought
and Gideon?
I felt a little giddy because, I recommended this book series on this podcast before, but it's the Thrawn trilogy, where it's, like, the first couple books that came out after the movies back in the '70s, and it deals with, like, the New Republic, and, you may have heard of characters like Mara Jade and Thrawn come out of this book series, and the book series sold so well that it spawned, like, dozens of books. So this first trilogy, it has, Commander Pelion in it, is one of the characters, and when they mentioned him on the screen, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Pelion." Like, I felt like a nerd moment, like, "My lore is proven correct." Oh, like, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little heavy-handed because it was like, "Where is Thrawn? Oh, he's busy doing something more important than
Hmm.
this." It gave me that vibe,
Yeah, and
which is like, what is he doing? What is he cooking? What does he know?
and also too, it kind of begs the question. I'm like, where the fuck were have all these guys been?
Mhm.
Like the
Well,
empty.
they said he was like, "Oh, we can't like, they're starting to get suspicious. We can't just pretend to be, like, pirate warlords anymore."
I know that, but if they've been pirate warlords, why haven't we heard of them? You know?
Well, I mean, look at the New Republic and how they've been raiding the outer systems, and, like, look how clearly the New Republic doesn't respond to the outer system.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Mhm,
That
and,
that
they literally have spies. That girl was like, "We don't need to check on them. They're not part of the New Republic, and then the incompetent guys behind the desk are like, "Hey, she's right. We don't gotta check on them at all."
that's how. That's
But
that.
yeah,
That's your Star Wars right there, where they
that's
all
my
just
Star Wars right there.
cartoonified characters.
Yeah, if we ever play a Star Wars RPG in our D&D group, that all the voices are gonna be just like that.
I respect it.
"Hey, come to the dark side. We got a lot of lightsabers." So that
I okay, so to like go further on with the episode, I did like uh I have mixed feelings about this a little bit, just a smidge.
Mhm,
Where it feels like Bo-Katan is gonna be the new like lead of the show,
mhm.
and Mando's to kind of more or less taking like a side. He's stepping off to the
They're
side,
supporting.
and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, like there's been Bo-Katan has appeared in like 3 fucking shows by this point, you know. I'm like, if
Mhm.
you want some Bo-Katan, go watch any of those shows. I'm like, I want to see Mando, you know, I want to see
Mhm.
him. Just
I
be
think you and I have both. I'm sorry, go ahead.
just because like this is like it started off with him, you know, and it's been a
Mhm.
show about him and Grogu. So I'm like, it's cool. Bo-Katan's getting the dark saber. She's the leader again. But you know, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I just want to see him.
As someone who's just they've seen a lot of the lore of Star Wars, I love all this stuff, but at the same time, my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian are the ones where they're just doing, like, one-off jobs.
Like the bank heist or
Yeah,
the prison one.
or or, like, the snow planet, when they get stuck on the snow planet, they're trying to deliver the lady.
Hmm.
Like, just those one-off episodes are just so fun to me.
Yeah, like I want to see more shit like that, you know.
like, still my favorite episode, like, of all the show, my favorite episode is still in the 1st season when, him and, Cara Dune defend those villagers.
Mm.
That's
Mhm.
still my favorite episode, and that was in, like, the 1st season.
That was back when, Gina, whatever her name was
Gina
in
Carano.
it was in the show. Damn.
Yeah, because it was very Western. It was like,
Mhm.
"I gotta go to this small town and help these villagers fight off this monster," just like a whole thing, and that's still one of my favorite episodes, so I'm very conflicted because I love the lore, but I'm just all part of me is like, "Could you just not get approved for another show? Is that why you're putting this in Mando?" Like, are you trying to set up like a bow? Like, what's the plan here? You have a Mandalorian show and then have a Din Djarin show, or like, are you just gonna stick it all in one? And let me tell you,
Hmm.
I want to know your opinion because a lot of people have been shipping Din Djarin and Bo-Katan, and let me tell you, I didn't care for it. I didn't like it. I was like, I like them better as friends. But when they were on that ship, and he was just like, "Honor means everything to me." And let me tell you, lady, I'm in your service. I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my gosh." I kinda got it. I was like, "Okay. Okay, I can see the ship now." I'm not saying I ship it, I can see it.
I
I
took
think of them as a couple.
I okay, here's the thing.
Okay, tell me.
I took that as foreshadow as something's about to go down.
Mhm.
And I did not see that in any kind of romantic way at all.
Mhm.
And I fucking knew people were gonna be like, "Ooh, this and that," because that same
Mhm.
day I hopped on TikTok and I saw someone playing some, like, sexy music with him
Yeah.
saying that, and I'm like, "God damn it." But yeah, I saw that. I don't see them. I think, they're more of like brothers in arms, you know? That's 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 how I see them.
Yeah, I see them like business partners or like friends. I don't see them very
Mhm.
romantically, but with that scene,
They're
I understood.
they're comrades, you know? That
Yeah,
that's how I view them, and you're
like, brothers in arms.
yeah, and you have, or from what I've been told, there's a certain level of intimacy with, like, people who you serve in the military with, people who, like,
Uh-huh.
you literally are in the trenches with. Like,
Yeah.
there's a certain level that, like, you just don't get, like, that you and I will never have. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly, because they serve together, yeah, it's a
Mhm.
certain level. So I'm not saying I like the ship, it's just that I understand it.
Oh, yeah.
I could see it because of that speech.
I could see it too, but also, like, I don't think they're gonna end up together. Like, if they
I hope
do,
they don't.
yeah, if they do, I mean, I could live without it, but I I
Mhm,
I I'm more on your side on this one. Where I don't want them to get, because there's
mhm.
been no level of romantic, like, we haven't seen
Yeah,
it
there's
we
been no
haven't
hint.
seen yeah, we haven't seen a scene where it's like Bo-Katan kinda looks at him and smiles. Like, we haven't seen little snidbits like that, or like Mando just kind of looking at her creepily, you
Yeah,
know?
so I hope that doesn't lead to anything. I think it's interesting because, I saw this as I was looking up articles. Brendan Wayne, who serves as a body double for, Mendo,
Why the fuck does
he's
he
on
need a
his
body double?
I guess often they have body doubles for stunts
Oh,
just
yeah.
because it's like a union thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm like,
I mean, I can tell you right now, Ruby Rose almost broke her neck on the set of Batwoman doing a stunt, so sometimes you gotta have those body doubles for a reason, but, that's besides the point. I just the first thing that came to mind. But the point is that Brendan Wayne on his Instagram story, he's like, "This next episode is gonna make you wish you hadn't asked for more. It might hurt too much." So people are like, "What's gonna happen next episode?" And
uh,
then, Dave Filoni, was like, "Oh, there's gonna be a good ending where you feel satisfied, but then you're gonna, like, realize all the shit that's happened." And I thought, like, "What are they gonna do? Who are they gonna kill? What's gonna happen?" And I'm very suspicious, and I think this is funny because I enjoyed the episode, but first during the final combat scenes, the entire time, I was yelling, I was like, "Bo-Katan, take out the fucking dark saber, you dumb bitch, and fight."
right? Like,
Like, the whole time.
she watched him
Mhm.
get choked out and shit.
Uh-huh. Like, when this blast door came down, I was like, "Okay, you're gonna pull a Qui-Gon, you're gonna take out the dark saber, you're gonna cut yourself a hole out." And she did that, but in the opposite direction. And I was like, "Damn it." And I can understand the reasoning and not like it. So I understand her being hesitant about using it because she's lost it so many fucking times. So she's like, and for some reason she's so attached, even though Mando's like, "Bitch, I don't give a fuck
I
about a
love I
saber. Just
love
do
that
the job
line. He
done."
was like, "This means nothing to me. I don't
Yeah,
care."
yeah. He's like, "I don't care, just lead us. We need someone." And so I understand her hesitancy to use it because she's lost it so many times. Let me tell you something. The history of that dark saber, that thing has been passed around like a party bottom at a gay soiree. Like, fucking Maul had it, and then Bo had it, and then it got lost, and then she had it again, and then it got lost again, and I'm like, "Oh my god." Like, that thing has been passed around, so I understand her hesitancy to use it because she doesn't wanna lose it. But at the same time, I'm just like, "You know how you don't lose it? By fucking fighting for your life and kicking ass." Like, when the guys got up close, I'm like, "Okay, now's the perfect time. Take out your dark saber
I
sword,
was
slice
thinking
it."
the same thing too.
And there was a moment, I think it was her, I don't know if it was her or one of her friends, but, like a gun got kicked out of her head, and I was like, "Okay, take out the dark saber," and she did it, and I was like, "Damn it. Like, come on, girl." Like, and then, you know what? At the end, shout out, rip to the man, Paz Vizsla, you've been here since season 1, RIP. Um, those Praetorian guards, I
Oh, they
mean,
were cool. Those guys
they
were
were very
cool.
cool, and I hope, she gets to fight them next episode because they have little vibro sabers, and she could fight them with the dark saber. I hope that happens.
Hold on. There's a major part you skimmed over I
Oh
wanted
my
to
gosh,
talk
tell me.
about.
Is it
Fuck
Paz
it.
Vizsla?
No, that has nothing to do with him. It's with Grogu. How he has
Yes,
a fucking a mech suit now and how he's using
I you
uh,
know what? That was just like they just wanna keep him around. They wanna justify keeping him around. They're like, "We're gonna put him in a little robot suit and he'll be
honestly
fine."
though, I felt like that was a bit like fucked up to do.
Mhm.
I'm like, this guy saved your life and now you're using him as a fucking puppet, you know? Like, yes, he's a robot, but he was a sentient being who like was capable of feelings. Like, this is a little demented.
You know what? Droids' rights has always been on the back burner of every Star Wars civilization's mind. I guess they
Yeah,
don't care about the droids.
but it was very cute watching him, like, saying, "No, no," and then when he got it, he was like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." I was like, "Alright, this is cute, I like that."
It was cute.
I also thought it was fucked up too because as soon as they got ambushed, Mando tells him, he's like, "Alright, keep up with us," and he's like you see him in the back, he's the last in the line, like, he can barely even
I thought it was cute when it looked like, when that giant, like, fucking I don't know what it was called, a crate giant sand dragon tore down their ship. Like, the 2 Mandos grabbed him
Oh,
underneath
yeah.
like, it's like when you're helping your drunk friend, like, who just threw up on the side of the street to walk, like, you just get him under the armpits and you start flying. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, 'cause
Uh,
my girlfriend was like, "Oh, no, they're gonna leave him to die," because even Mando dipped out. He wasn't even the one who grabbed him. It was just some random ass people.
honestly, Mando needs to leave. Like, I said this before, I love this story, but Mando and Baby Grogu need to leave. This is not your business. But now they can't because Din Djarin just pledged himself to Bo-Katan, and you know how seriously that motherfucker takes honor and stuff.
Yeah, but, I did like the Empire's new suits because they remind me of, like, clones. It looked like clone armor, and that was, like, super cool. I loved the design on it. I thought that was, like, really badass.
You know, I wonder if they are clones because cloning has been, like, a point that they've mentioned in the show.
Yeah,
And the
'cause
thing and they're doing a lot of references to Heir of the Empire, which is the book series I talk about. And in Heir of the Empire, uh, there's a bunch of, like, blank-minded clones of unknown genetic origin in the books that help bolster the Empire's ranks because they're low on soldiers. So
hmm.
I'm kinda wondering if they'll play with that because that's a big thing in, the 3rd book where, like, Luke is trying to read their minds, and it's this weird point in the Force where Luke's like, "Oh, they're clones, I can't read them," and I was like, "I don't know why that is, but okay." So, maybe there's clones, I don't maybe there's clones, I don't know.
But that
But I
that
think they were
that was cool, and one thing I do kind of find little interesting was
mhm.
when Mando why didn't, Mando no, why didn't Moff Gideon capture Mando and Bo-Katan the first time he was on Mandalore? Like, that seems like the perfect opportunity to do it, right?
What do you mean?
Because he's been setting up shop on Mandalore this whole time.
Mhm.
So when they were on
Oh,
Mandalore, like, why didn't he capture them?
oh, he said he was just like, "Oh, you've brought all the Mandalorians here for me to finally wipe them out." Like, I think I don't think it was intent to do that, but I think maybe he wasn't on planet, or maybe he was waiting for them to gather
Was
more
it
of their
off world?
people.
Just
He could have been off world.
getting groceries?
Yeah, he comes back and he's just like, "So did anything happen?" And the guy's just like, "Oh yeah, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin was out there in the corner." And he's just like, did you kill them?" "I don't know, you weren't here. You were out getting space groceries. I was just sweeping." And he's just like, "Why didn't you kill them? They're my arch enemies." He's like, "Yeah, I didn't really feel like it."
Because that would have been the perfect time to fucking get rid of them, right? Like Mando was
Yeah.
getting his blood sucked out, and Bo-Katan was out there fighting whatever the fuck she was fighting.
You know what? Maybe he didn't notice them because, they weren't fucking you know what? People were saying the armor's, a traitor.
Uh huh.
Maybe they have it in with the Mandos, you never
Mhm.
know. But, maybe he was waiting for them to gather a larger
I
force
I
to take
al-
out all
I
'cause he
also
said that in the
mhm.
show. He was like, "Oh, you brought them all here for me to kill."
I also want to talk a little bit more about that fight scene with Mando and the other Empire guys, because that was
Mhm.
cool as fuck. How I
I
really
enjoyed it.
did. I like that choreograph where he had his like zip line thing, whatever, and then they used it against him to start choking him out.
Mhm.
I thought that was so fucking cool how they did that. Like I was like, that was just like because Mando looked like a badass. He had his flamethrower. He's like,
Yeah.
burning up. But those
And
guys
then they
weren't
all
like letting up. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was such a cool little fight right there. It is as quick as it was, I really did appreciate that, like, the
Mhm.
fucking all the effects and everything that went into that because that was so cool.
And I think it's so interesting that because they've been on Mandalore and setting up base, that they said all the armor is Beskar.
Yeah, and that
So I'm just like,
explains too how Moff Gideon, was freed because he
uh-huh.
had Beskar armor and all that.
Mhm. So that's insane. I hope Bo-Katan fucking kills him.
I don't know, I like, Juan Carlo. Oh, fuck, I call him Gus.
Was
I love
wasn't he in
Gus.
Far Cry or something like that?
He's in Far Cry, he's in Breaking Bad, a couple other things too that
I'm just like, "Girl, you have to kill him or else you're gonna look like a chump."
nah,
Like, these are like gang rules, you gotta kill him.
I wanna keep seeing him, dude, he's such a fucking good actor, and
You gotta see
I love the
Ahsoka.
Breaking Bad. I love the Breaking Bad reunion they had a little bit. But,
I'm so happy for you.
do you think the armor is a rat? Because the thing I saw too that, like, the episode was called, like, The Spies, and it was, like, plural, and we only saw one spy. So who was the other spy, you know?
That's a really good question. I wonder I don't know because I wonder if it's a thing where because I don't know who the character I haven't looked into, like, all those theories, but I wonder if it's a thing where because Mando stated that, "Oh, we are taught that you're a coward and that you and your way is, like, the worst." So I wonder if she's been playing the long game and getting all of those, like, not her cult members,
Mhm.
to get them killed, and then she and her cult members go in hiding, and she's like, "This is the way, I had to get rid of you guys, sorry."
I could see
Like
something like that.
that's my only reason that she might betray them maybe,
Mhm. But there
'cause I
was there was something too, again, I never got this far in the Clone Wars, but I know she was, like, a Maul sympathizer because she has the horns on her helmet, and so did Gideon. As of
mm,
right now, they're the only 2, like, Mandalorians well, he's not Mando, but you get what I mean.
mhm.
They're the only 2 people with horned helmets.
Which will be interesting because during the timeline as we are right now, Maul is dead.
Yeah, he's been dead. He's somewhere in fucking what planet? What's the fucking Star
No,
Wars HQ planet?
he I don't know.
The one where
He
everything
died
goes down?
Tatooine.
There we go,
He died
yeah,
on
yeah.
Tatooine, before New Hope. So which you can watch in Rebels. So
Just go
go watch
just go on
Rebels.
YouTube. Just go on YouTube and watch it. That's probably like
Honestly, yeah, if you're not feeling it, just go and watch clips and you'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know if it's tough because you can't really they kept showing back to her, like, as she was flying away, and I was like, "What's the point of these shots?
Mhm.
Is it like, should we have watched her hands? Was she communicating someone, like, they're on their way? Or is it just sort of like a functional shot, like, "Oh, she's leaving the atmosphere,"
I
and
think
then
it could have been that because they I remember they explicitly said like once we're down here, there's no way of getting in touch with everyone up there.
yeah, the atmosphere is so bad, signals can't get through. So I think that's interesting because they couldn't pilot to the fleet. They couldn't, like, radio to the fleet and be like, "Oh, we're under attack," because the atmosphere is so bad from the bombings by the Empire.
Mhm.
So I think it's interesting. I'm excited to see where the episode goes next. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I am too. I was just like I was telling you earlier. I'm just
Mhm,
upset that it took it like 7 fucking episodes to like really get
mhm.
good, because
And I'm telling you, it built up to this.
no, it didn't. No, it didn't. I have to disagree with you on that one.
Mhm.
Just because like yeah, there was setups and all that, but it, like
So you admit there's
there were setups, but it just like fuck, you're really gonna have your big cliffhanger, like you're you're really gonna have like the big budget action scenes and all this and that,
mhm.
like at the end, like space it out a little bit, like going back to like Mando season 1, season 2, there was like plenty of action, like plenty of good enough scenes to be like, yeah, I'm ready for the next episode to justify like I don't want to say a filler, but like a story plot episode, And
Well, I
that's
think they're trying to focus on Mandalore and Mandalorian
and
culture and those
but
interactions.
but for the longest too though, like the season had like no sense of direction, in my opinion. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
like where are you going with this?
I've
And
literally said that, yeah.
now it's just like, oh, okay, now I know where you're going with one episode remaining. Like fuck. Like if I would have known Gideon was like lurking in the shadows a little bit more and seen him a little bit more, I'd be like, okay, cool. I get that. And if I would have seen like more like hints with the Beskar armor, I'd be like, all right,
Mhm.
cool, but there was really nothing of that. Like
Well, I mean, we knew where the it took 3 episodes, but I feel like episode 4, when Bo-Katan and them fight that dragon thing, that's where we knew it was going. We were like, "Oh, Bo's gonna unite the tribes and take back Mandalore." I felt like that's the kind of the direction, and I'll say it did build up because each episode contributed to this, but that doesn't mean you have to like that build up or how it was
yeah,
executed.
I wasn't a fan of this build just because like I when she was like, "Oh, my people left me. They didn't, I let them down." I was like, "Okay, that's the end of their story. On to the next." They're just
Mhm.
kind of out and about in the galaxy. And then all of a sudden they have a whole fucking empire fleet, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool though, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they got that. Where did they get that? I think they just said it offhand, like, "Oh, they commandeered a ship," or
Yeah, just pulled up and found one.
yeah, they just found one in a junkyard, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take it." But, yeah, I get that because season 2, each episode had some sort of, like, big cameo or some sort of, like, crazy set piece,
Mhm.
and, season 3 has been a bit more calm on that. It's been a bit more it's funny because it's been a bit more about Mandalorian culture and these characters,
Shut up,
and the
Dave
writing
Filoni.
no, I was about to say, and the writing has been a little lazy about it.
Mhm.
The writing hasn't been the best, so it's like, if you're gonna focus on these quieter, more intimate details, your writing has to be off the hook, and it just hasn't been for me this season.
Mhm. I agree, and it's just like going back to what I said, The Mandalorian, the show, it's
Mm,
one of Disney Plus's like really one of the only good like blockbuster shows. Because let's be real, more people are tuning in to watch that than they are like The Bad Batch.
mhm, which
And
is, we found out next season will be the last one.
really, The Bad Batch?
Mm.
No, I gotta
Yeah,
finish season 2. I gotta finish.
because of people like you not watching it.
Really, was the viewership down? Like,
No, no,
oh,
no,
okay,
it's fine, I'm just saying that. But I will say there's a Variety article, before you continue, that, Mandalorian crosses 1,000,000,000 minutes, so Mandalorian's been doing good.
exactly. But no, that's just going back to my
But
point where Mandalorian is gonna get more views than fucking Bad Batch or any of their other shows. So going back to what I was saying, even though I just said that like twice already,
mhm,
you I can't I feel like Disney Plus can't afford to fuck around like that. There
mhm.
they're not the Netflixes, they're not the HBOs to where, Game of Thrones could have like 2 filler episodes in a row to set up the next thing. Like you gotta keep the ball consistently rolling because you don't have enough
Mhm,
content to justify having a Disney Plus subscription because like most people, I'm pretty sure as soon as Mando ends, there goes their subscription. They're ending it until,
mhm.
whatever show comes out next.
And then I don't maybe they might bump again for Ahsoka, but at the same time, I'm sure lots of people out there are like, "Who's Ahsoka? What's happening?"
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting I'm getting a bit of Star Wars fatigue, so I might sit on the back burner of Ahsoka just
Sacre bleu.
because I don't really like she's cool, but I didn't watch any of the cartoons, so
I said this last podcast, I'll say it again. Fingers crossed they do a good job introducing new audiences to the
uh
character because you simply have to.
uh
You can't run on, like, the nostalgia and love for already established fans. You gotta bring in the new ones.
and speaking of bringing in new fans, we have a little bit of time left. You want to talk about the Marvels? I know you're a big fan of that. You
Oh
made a whole
my god,
TikTok about it too.
did. I'm very excited about the Marvels. I'm the only one in the world that is. Everyone No, there's a small subset group of us. And I think it's interesting how they're gonna do this movie just because I've heard around the Twitter space and from enemy of the podcast, Diego Crespo, who has some friends that work in production. And honestly, we should ask I feel like we know people in production. We can ask around, but the point is that they've been having a bit of trouble with the story over there for the Marvels, and I hope those rumors aren't true. But I'm interested to see what they do, especially since it's the last Marvel movie ever. That's right, everyone. The MCU is ending after the Marvels. That's why it's called the Marvels. So I'm very excited for the MCU to be over. I love all the characters. I think it's interesting with some the little of the VFX that we got. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I watched it.
No, I think it's interesting because I see a lot of people being like, "We don't even know what the fuck this is about. What is this?" And it's like, "Babe, it's a teaser trailer. It's not supposed to it's not a full trailer. It comes out in November. It's a teaser trailer." So I think it's interesting because it presents you with a very simple thing. Bad guy, the Kree, because we can't get away from them. Three ladies, they keep switching places, and that's it. That's kind of all that's the only teaser we got. So I'm down to see what happens.
Mhm.
I'm interested. I love Kamala and Carol and Monica. So I hope it does well. I hope it makes $3 billion and every man gets mad, including me. I'm also a man. Ooh, women. Ooh, that's me punching. Ooh, women.
Sounds like you're like coming.
Okay, I'm gonna cut that then. Uh, shout out, honestly, guys. If you hear this, that means I was lazy and didn't cut it. So welcome to the Geek Press Unplugged,
The uncut version.
the uncut on OnlyFans.
I see. Here's the thing. I saw it and I was like, "Oh, this looks fun," but at the
Yeah,
same
nothing
time,
crazy.
yeah, at the same time, I was thinking, I was like, but I'm just kind of where the fuck does this? It's really it's super early, but how is this gonna tie into Secret Wars? How is this gonna tie into Kang? And all the Marvel movies just kind of all have all been loosey goosey so far, and I've been really like I could really care less with Marvel now, and Ant-Man was the final nail on the coffin for me.
Ugh, that was so bad.
Yeah, because I used to love Marvel. I used to watch all their stuff, but it's just I they're trying. I don't know. I just feel like there's same thing with the Mando. There's really no sense of direction, right? Because
Mhm.
what is it like phase 5, phase 6, whatever the fuck they're in right now? Um
I don't know.
yeah, it just there's been like 8 shows, obviously I'm exaggerating, but there's been like a handful of shows, a handful of movies, and the only ones to really tie in stuff is Doctor Strange, and even then that's kind of loosely, and the other one is Ant-Man.
Mhm.
We're like where I haven't seen Miss Marvel, but you've told me all that really happens is
Yeah,
Captain
it's just
Marvel
about her.
pops. Yeah, just about her.
Yeah.
I liked Moon Knight, but the reason why I liked Moon Knight is because it had nothing to do with the MCU. It
Yeah, I
was
mean, Miss Marvel didn't have too much to do with the MCU either,
mhm.
so I like the idea of the shows being a little disconnected, but the movies having some tie-in, but I get what you mean where it feels like, first Avengers movie, it's like, "Oh, Thanos is coming."
Mhm.
and now it's like, oh, Kang is coming, but also it was just so lackluster that I'm not excited for Kang. And then also he's allegedly an abuser, so
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. They could always just say, "Oh, these were variants of Kang," you know, they
yeah,
could
they just get another guy. It's like, I'm the real evil Kang. I killed the rest of them.
I could see some fuckery like that. But
Mm.
yeah, I just don't really care, like, so my thing was I'm like, "This looks cool, but I'm not gonna see it when it comes out." Like, that's a $5 Tuesday movie for me for sure.
Yeah, I get that. If
Uh,
you're not invested in the characters, there's not you haven't been given a reason yet to go see it.
yeah, I didn't like, not Miss Marvel,
Captain
Captain
Marvel?
I didn't like Captain Marvel. I kind of see her as a really, like, one-dimensional character,
Mhm.
and Rambo, she's cool, I got no complaints on her. I
Mhm.
liked her from what I
She's
saw.
cool, but she
Yeah,
just doesn't have anything.
yeah, from what I saw in WandaVision, she's cool, I liked her. Miss Marvel, I've never seen the show, but I played the Avengers, and if she's anything like the Avengers, I mean, that's cool.
I'd say she's kinda like that character, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, but all things considered, I'm just like, eh. If the only time I see myself watching like a Marvel movie now is if like they do some like really cool shit, like some really like new, like the only one I think I'm really excited to watch is Guardians of the Galaxy. And,
Oh, yeah.
and even then that's a legacy Marvel, that's
Mhm.
kind of like OG Marvel. But
I'm gonna let Marvel know that if, Rocket dies in this movie, I'm gonna burn Marvel Studios to the ground. And I'm not gonna edit that out. I want everyone to know that if Rocket dies, I'm burning this shit to the ground. He's one of the best characters in all of the MCU, and
Mhm.
even if his death is, like, a good death, I don't care. Like, that's all I have to say.
You know what?
But, yes, I'm ready to cry.
Yeah, I think that's. What about you? Like, where are you standing on the MCU?
On Marvel or
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like similar to you with your Star Wars burnout, I'm having Marvel burnout.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's funny because I feel like I really enjoyed, the Black Panther: Wakanda Forever,
Mhm.
but then Quan hmm, I guess Quantumania and Ragnarok was just so I disliked them so
That's
much.
right, I forgot that Thor had his own movie too.
Mm,
I didn't think that
you
one
know
was as bad
mm,
as but I'm, like, the minority in that one. I know a lot of people
what
didn't
what's the
like it.
what's the name of the director again?
Taika Waititi?
Taika Waititi was just fully coked out on this one. He had no time for anyone. I really didn't care for it. Um,
Hold on,
just
side
because
note,
I'm a big yeah, go ahead.
if you wanna watch a good Taika Waititi movie, I'd say go watch Jojo Rabbit. That shit is
Mhm.
good. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's, here, I'll give you a quick synopsis, okay?
Is it the Hitler one?
Yeah, 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 so
You
it's
just love Hitler
shut the fuck up.
with your fucking JoJo obsession and now Jojo Rabbit.
They Joe, fuck, what was his name? Major Fuck, you're making me blank on his name. He's he's a cool character. Just watch it, you'll love him too. But the Jojo Rabbit is about this kid growing up in like, I don't know if it's Germany, but it's a Nazi occupied place in Europe,
Mhm,
and it's near the end of the war. Like you get
mhm,
context clues throughout the movie that's near the end of the war, and he grows up like idolizing Nazis because
mhm,
a lot of people back then, like, specifically people living in, like, occupied places, I would imagine again, I don't know if this is true, so please don't get mad at me, but
mhm.
it's like, I would imagine they were like, "Oh, man, these guys are, like, rock stars, these guys are cool, I wanna be like them." So, he grows up with that mentality, and he has, like, Nazi posters and memorabilia all over his wall, and as the movie goes on, he joins, like, the Nazi youth program, and he starts to realize, "Oh, these guys aren't all that cracked up
Mhm,
what I think they are." And it's him slowly kind of realizing that, and then it just gets really fucking intense. Like, I honestly,
mhm.
if I was gonna recommend one movie for you to watch, it'd probably be Jojo Rabbit. Like, it's really fucking good if you guys go watch it.
Okay.
Sorry, you were talking about
No,
Taika and
yeah,
the MCU.
I'll say right now, I there's one of my dreams in the world has been to be an actor. That could be fun. But I always have, like, contingencies of, like, "Oh, I would never do this if I was an actor." If I was an actor, 2 things I would never play is a Nazi and a racist, because I just feel like they'll stick with you forever. Like Adam Driver can do whatever he wants, but he's forever to me gonna be the guy who yelled the N word in that one movie. I forget what movie it is, but he just yelled the N
Black
word.
Klansman, I think it is.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's in my head forever.
Here's the thing. I have fuck, we're going on a whole different tangent now.
We're going on a whole different.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I want to talk about this really quick.
go for it.
I feel like if you're gonna do that, and it's gonna sound so weird, but like you have to do it like it has to be tasteful in a way, you know?
Mhm.
It has to be like respectful to the culture who was like being oppressed, or the culture or the group
Mhm.
of people who were like, being like put down essentially. I don't know how else to put it, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So you have to do it. There has to be that level of like respect to it. You can't just go and just start dropping like N bombs, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're just being racist for the sake of being racist. But
Yeah.
but I feel like people who play like really good roles like that, kind of like I've only seen clips of Black Klansman, but the parts I've seen him in is really good. And one that I always go back to is Christopher Waltz. He plays as the Nazi in Inglourious Bastards, and
Mhm.
I feel like that was, people have their quarrels with Quentin Tarantino, and he does have some problems, but I feel like that role right there was like a really good role, because it just like it didn't sugarcoat what like Nazis were, it like the evil fucking vile shit they did, and that to kind of give you a peek into the window a little bit, just to see that. But then on the flip side, going back to Jojo Rabbit, you have Taika Waititi playing this cartoon, this caricature of Hitler, like making fun of him. So you could kind of do some shit like that too. That's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry, I went on this whole fucking little mini
No, it's
rant.
okay. You know what? I went on a little rant too, so don't worry about it. Back to our original point. I'm a big Jane Foster fan, and I
Oh
feel like
shit.
that movie kinda fucked her over. Like, that movie fucked her over a lot. So
Wait,
that's all I have to
I was about to say, who's Jane Foster? I forgot.
say. I'm working on my mic work, so, like, when I laugh, I try to throw my head back so my laugh isn't directly into the mic. So sorry if I
you
overblew the
know,
mic there.
there's a hold on. Just gonna keep talking.
Okay, holding on tight,
Discord has
going.
a shut up, Noah. Discord has a they have a filter on there. If you go into the settings, you could adjust it, and you could like hear yourself back too. Anyways, do that later. But what's your homework for the week, Noah?
Oh my gosh. Okay, my homework for the week is for you guys to go to your local comic book store and reserve World's Finest Teen Titan by Mark Waid and Emmanuel Lupacino. It's a story set in the past following the first team of Teen Titans: Wonder Girl, Dick Grayson, Robin, Roy Harper, Speedy, Wally West, The Flash, Garth, Tempest, and Karen Bumblebee, like the original team. I'm very excited. It looks very cute. I'm so hyped for it. Titans, baby. We're coming back in the spotlight. We're doing it. Lewis, what's the homework
Wait,
for you?
wasn't a Cyborg original Teen Titan?
No, he was part of the new Teen Titans.
Oh, okay.
And the original Teen Titans was like I guess a 40-ish issue run that did okay, but it really exploded into popularity with the new Teen Titans, which happened later on, which had older Robin and then Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, and all them.
Okay. My homework for the week, just because you got me thinking about it, go watch Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, go watch the Nazis like Lewis is encouraging you to do.
Yeah, if there's any movie that like is gonna get you to, realize how Nazis are bad, go watch that. Yeah, that's a good movie
Yeah,
actually. It's a
Nazis
really,
are bad.
it's a really good
It's it,
movie.
it's a stance of this podcast that Nazis are bad.
And that's why
Cancel
Wolfenstein's
us.
that's why Wolfenstein's one of my favorite games. Go around and just mow down some Nazis.
Honestly, shout out to Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited
Lewis,
for whenever they come back.
where can people find you on the internet?
People can find me on Craigslist under Men Seeking Men.
Jokes on you, they don't have that anymore.
Oh fuck, that's right, huh? God damn it.
Yeah, they got rid of that in like 2016. Not that I would know.
In 2016, May 5th at 6 o'clock on the dot, they got rid of it. But you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Luis Gutierrez. And you can also find my work at gamespot.com and ign.com. If you just, if you Google IGN or GameSpot and just type in Luis Joshua Gutierrez, I should pop up. What about you, Noah? Where can people find you?
Oh my gosh. Well, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Noah is Garcia. You can check out my photography Instagram at Noah Garcia _photography. I accidentally didn't schedule a post that was meant to be out this Wednesday, so it's coming this Wednesday. Panels and pages.wordpress.com. Check out my comic musings, and I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next Monday, and yeah.
Goodbye.